Another Lion Legends segment for you. Benjamin Ray back with you. We're connecting virtually now with former UNA great Cody Gross, a three-time national champion winner. Cody Gross, where are you connecting up with us from today?
I've been in my home here in Athens, Alabama.
A 41-2 record during your career as a starter, three-time national champion, 3 degrees from UNA as well. You and your wife were both there at the same time. The University of North Alabama, just what does it mean to the Gross family?
Well, it's special. You know, my wife Karen was actually at UNA before I was. I like to tell everybody that she is older than me. So she was a Lionette my senior year of high school. And then after that, she joined the athletic training staff and was a trainer there for 2 years, my first 2 years as a player. So she taped my ankles every day for 2 years. And like I say, we both got our degrees there. I was able to get my master's there. And then I've coached there 2 different times. So I coached there in 98 to 2000 under Bill Hyde, and then again 2012 2015 under Bobby Wallace. So as a player and a coach, spent 11 years there. Lived there two different times with my family, and it's been very, very special to us.
Let's update UNA fans on just how things have been going for you and your family since you left. As the offensive coordinator under Coach Wallace, you're part of 3 Gulf South Conference champions, but now at Athens High School as the head coach and athletic director, how are things over there?
Things are going well. We've steadily improved every year, and hopefully that trend will continue. It's kind of tough right now, and the boat everybody's in, we're away from our players, and that's been extremely difficult because I sure do miss our guys. But got a great staff, got great support from our administration. It's a great town. It's my second time at Athens as well. Spent 2 different trips at UNA as a coach, 2 different stints now at Athens. I was the offensive coordinator there from 03 to 06, and then came back as a head coach in 2016. But tremendous staff, tremendous young men, and a great tradition here like it is at North Alabama. So feel extremely blessed to be the head football coach here.
Before we jump into the film room and talk about some big moments, your 4 years, I mean, quite the run during that time. When you reflect back, just, what are some of the things that jump out at you?
Well, just the group of guys that I was fortunate enough to be a teammate of. I mean, we had great people. So many of us came in together. There was a great group that was redshirted my senior year in high school. So they were redshirt freshmen when I was a true freshman, and then steadily added quality people after that. But then also the coaching staff. I mean, Coach Wallace obviously is a legend, but the staff that he put together was remarkable. We look at Willie Slater as the offensive coordinator, Bill Hyde as the defensive coordinator, and you can go on and on from there. But those 2 guys set the tone on each side of the ball, and they were both winners and great godly men who kind of set the tone on, like I said, on each side of the ball. And then Coach Wallace is the greatest leader I've ever been around, and again, just unbelievably blessed to have been there at the time that I was.
Let's jump into the film room and talk about some of your memories. I want to go back to 1992, September 9th, your first career game against Central Missouri. You made your debut in the second quarter. UNA would win that game 17-16, but what do you remember about your first collegiate experience?
Pretty nervous going in. Went in, I guess, the 3rd drive of the game, which was kind of our custom then, was the backup quarterback went in there. And, I'd gone in that year as the 6th team quarterback. And I say that because we only had 6. So I was the last guy. And by the first game, I became the number 2 quarterback. So got to play in that first game, but never forget that my first college pass attempt was intercepted. So great way to start your career.
So from your first career start with some nerves, or your first career game with some nerves, to your first career start coming in the playoffs against Hampton. We win that game 33-21. 36 rushing yards, 105 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, from game 1 to that point, getting into the playoffs, just how much did things settle down for you?
A little bit. As the year went on, I played, in most games. There were 2 or 3 games I didn't play in. I guess the interesting thing is I was put in mainly to throw the football, because we didn't throw it a lot back then. I think we were 2-0 or 3-0 and not completed a pass. If you look back at the record books, I led us in passing that year with 226 yards, maybe 226, 227 yards for the season. So I went in some games to throw the ball and played extensively the last game against Valdosta, and we came from behind to tie it, and that got us in the playoffs. And then go to Hampton, and I just remember giving the ball to Tyrone Rush and Brian Satterfield a lot, and Jarius Hayes had a big game. Jarius Hayes, our tight end, didn't catch a whole lot of passes, but I know he had a couple of big catches in that game.
Let's fast forward to 1993 as a sophomore, the first national championship win over IUP. I want to get into that game and the final drive a little bit, but that first championship, just how special was it and how prepared were you guys for it, do you feel like?
Well, people ask a lot of times which one was the best championship, and I don't know that I can answer that. The first one was, I guess, so thrilling. It was the first time, everything was new, the excitement in town. I mean, I remember a song was made up about us. The crowds were huge, and everybody was just caught up in the excitement. And we'd been close in '92. Jack State beat us in the quarterfinals by 2. And then we saw them 2 weeks later in our stadium win the national championship. So it kind of gave us a little extra motivation, I think. And saw how close that we were, and we were a young team. And I would say we probably didn't even know what we were doing. It was no pressure. We were just having fun and going out and playing ball and getting a little better every week. And we had great senior leaders. We talk a lot about those guys that were in my class. But you talk about some great leadership from guys like Brian Satterfield and Tyrone Rush, Jeff Redcross, Jeff Surball, and the list can go on. But a lot of leadership there. Mark Williams at linebacker, just some guys that provided a lot of experience for us, and just a great time.
Let's talk about that final drive. You capped the game off with a scoring plunge to give North Alabama the lead. What do you remember about that final drive and some things that stand out?
I remember all about that drive. I don't remember many drives, but that one I do. We'd been up 10. We'd been down 10 with 10 minutes left. And then with 3 minutes left, we go up 10. And then with 40 seconds left, it's tied. So we take the field, and I asked Coach Martin. David Martin was our offensive line coach, who's signaling their plays. I said, we're going for overtime or we're going for the win? He said, we're going for the win. So first play, the drive, we call it the fullback trap, which, people today would say, what in the world are you doing? But that was us. We were triple option offense, and the trap had busted early in the game, but I think Satterfield was tackled for a 2-yard gain. We immediately called timeout, and then we ran load option, 39 load, went to the right, and gained 28 yards on the play, get up and spike the ball with 24 seconds left, and then we throw a play action pass to Demetrius Shelton throw. We called it 933. And underthrew it, not on purpose. It wasn't the back shoulder. This was the back shoulder before that was the thing. And Demetria went up and made a great play, and it looked like he got in, but was tackled inside the 1. And then we went down and spiked it because we had 1 timeout remaining. And then with 10 seconds left, was able to score on the quarterback sneak. And then defense was able to hold on the last play of the game. And just an unbelievable few minutes there.
Now, I've always heard the story on the touchdown plunge that you turned to Brian Satterfield and said, hey, no matter what, hit me, make sure I get in. Any truth to that?
Yeah, that's true. Probably not the smartest, suggestion I had, but I did tell him make sure that I got in there.
All right, let's fast forward to 1994, the second national championship run. How did that compare to the first and the third?
I think there was a lot more pressure in '94. Again, all the excitement, everybody caught up in the newness of it the first year. And then the next year, it's like, hey, you got all these guys coming back. Y'all won't be able to do it again. And I'd say that was the one that we don't talk a lot about that one. I don't know. I guess the guys are on all those teams talk about the first one, the last one. And the middle one's almost forgotten, I think, amongst some people. But I think the thing that stands out to me that year was how good the defense was. I know there were 2 games that year where we didn't even get a first down in the second half offensively. Central Arkansas, we won 28-21 after leading 28-0, and then the championship game against Texas A&M Kingsville, we were up 16-3 at the half and won 16-10 with no first downs in the second half. 93 team was so good offensively, the 94 team was so good defensively, and then I think the 95 team was a great combination of the two. But a lot of pressure to get back into that thing and to win it, and I'd say for me personally, I probably didn't enjoy that one quite as much as I did the other 2, but it's not like I didn't enjoy it.
So going for a third as a senior, well, that whole run, so many of you guys started together as freshmen in '92. You'd already won two, but going for three in a row, just what was that experience like as a team?
It was, again, I don't think we understood what was going on when it was happening. We were just college guys that were playing a game that we loved with guys that we loved, and I don't know if it gets any better than that. But I think we were an extremely confident group, obviously very experienced, but we just had great leaders. When we've talked about our coaches, but then you go to the players, we had great leadership on our football team. So many guys that were strong in that, great competitors, physical, tough. Um, Love is a word that comes up a lot when we talk about that group, but we really did love each other.
The architect of it all, Bobby Wallace, you've played for him, you've coached with him as well. Just what's the impact been like on your career?
It's something I can't put into words. Coach Wallace, I guess going back to the beginning, gave me a chance to play college football when nobody else did. I was a 5'9", 145-pound high school quarterback that handed off most of his life. And Ronnie Ritter came in my senior year at Lauderdale County and put in the triple option, and it changed my life. At the same time, UNA was going through a tough season, and Coach Wallace decided that he was going to go to the option. So my senior year, a new coach comes in. Coach Wallace decides to move to that offense, and I guess also probably sign a local kid. And so I come in and at the perfect time, and then he hires Willie Slater, who is the architect of that offense and the best option football coach in the world. All that was kind of a perfect storm. But Coach Wallace gave me the opportunity to play. And the thing Coach Wallace did and has always done is he told people the truth. When he signed me to a partial scholarship like most Division II people, and said if you start for us, you'll be on a full. And he was true to his word. That happened in the summer going into my sophomore year. So then when I was coaching for him, then as I talked to recruits and talked to parents, I was able to tell them, hey, if this man tells you something, you can take it to the bank. It's going to happen. So he's a man of his word, and a man of high character, and just a unbelievable leader. And I learned so much from him as a player, but I think probably even more so being able to be a coach underneath him.
We'll wrap up the conversation with just the brotherhood of UNA football from your time playing now to coaching. Just how much has that followed you around as you've gone through your various coaching stops?
Quite a bit. I've been a lot of places. There's a joke amongst some of us of how many jobs I have had. But I like to say I've been at Athens twice and UNA twice. So although I've had several jobs, a couple of them were at the same place. But I've been able to work with Sam Graham, who's my best friend, was my roommate. Was able to hire here at Athens Kyle Crabtree and Will Furlong and Chris Coffey, who all played for us there at UNA. Just staying in touch with some of those guys. I'm not the best at staying in touch, but the relationships that you build when you play with guys, that's what it's about. It's not about the touchdowns or the wins or even the championship rings. It really is about that brotherhood and about the relationships that you're able to build.
Cody Gross, thank you for everything you've done for UNA, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Well, I sure do appreciate it. It's been fun to go down memory lane just a little bit.